your host, Joseph, with the Massachusetts Pirate Party, and with me I have Jamie and Steve. Um, Today, our topic that we're talking about is some of the trials and tribulation Facebook is going through. But before we really get into that, Steve, you were having some trials and tribulation with just getting an account. Why
Oh
don't you
yeah.
tell us
Oh
about
yeah.
that?
So yeah, it's there's it's we'll say it's been a continuing adventure, but before talking about it, I want to kind of set up some context, or at least how I'm sort of looking at it. A couple of days ago, The Guardian ran an article titled "Mark Zuckerberg: Facebook Must Accept Some State Regulation," and speaking at the Munich conference, but basically the idea is he's acknowledging that with Facebook being a content provider, they probably need some sort of, they're probably between, say, a newspaper and a telephone company, where newspapers are generally held to journalistic standards, and the telephone company is just basically dumb technology that passes bits back and forth. Like for a newspaper can be sued for libel. The telephone company, on the other hand, you can't sue the telephone company because someone used the telephone to say bad things to you, for example. So there's, this is probably, coming on what we've learned from the last presidential election, in the way social media was used to, influence people. But, they're accepting some regulation. They're also, Facebook has also been making an effort to, take security more seriously. And I guess this is, they're putting more resources into, trying to stop fake accounts and that sort of thing. Which brings me to something I had to do like 2 weeks ago, was to get a Facebook account. Basically, I'm working with a candidate, or working on a local political issue, and it's got a Facebook page, and I wanted to basically converse with other people about housing and stuff, and but I needed a Facebook account to do this. So signing up, so that step one is Facebook asks you what's your email address. So I've for these sorts of things, I generally make up a brand new email address and give that out. They send you an email, and they put your email address in. They want you to. They send you a verification code, right? So you got to, type in the verification code to show that you really do control the email address. Well, then they do the same thing with your mobile number. They want a mobile number. They text you a 6-digit code. You have to type in the 6-digit code to show that you own the mobile number. And then the third step is, they want you to upload a headshot. So no other people in the picture, clear shot, high resolution of your face, so they can verify that it's you. I don't know what that entails, seeing that Facebook. I don't have a Facebook account, so okay, how do they know it's me? Actually, the length of time it took for Facebook to send the confirmation codes, I'd gotten a little frustrated. So when they asked me for a headshot, I gave them a cat. Apparently, this did not go over well. They flagged my account for review, and a few days later, I tried to sign in and found out that my account had been disabled. So I thought, okay, well, we'll try it again, and this time, we won't upload we'll give them a real face shot rather than a cat. So I go through, give them a new email address, same mobile number, real face shot, and again they're saying that your account is pending approval. And 2 days later, I try to log in and I find that my account has been deactivated. So Facebook has a process for disputing account deactivations, and it's like, okay, I look at they want you to provide a picture of an ID. So I take a nice picture of my driver's license, upload the driver's license, and nope, the account is still deactivated. no response from them. There's no way you can ask why. They're just, you know, you're just not getting through. So, I mean, my next attempt will probably be a new Gmail account, new Google Voice account, and a brand new face shot, and maybe I'll let my hair down or something. But, you know, so it's...
Honestly, I would try and do it without a phone number, too, and do the phone number after.
You do not have the option of doing that. It's... If you know, basically it's kind of like a step-by-step process. Give your email, confirmation code. Phone number, confirmation code. Facial shot. And if you log out in the middle of this process and log back in, you go back to whatever step you were part of. Which is to say that they seem to be trying so hard to prevent people from making fake accounts, it's damn near impossible to make a real one.
Especially when you throw in a cat as your picture for the first time.
I mean,
it sounds like your name and your IP somehow are flagged. So I'm wondering if you use a VPN.
There's
like do your like initial for your first name and then your middle name and then your last name. I don't know. It's like these algorithms are not transparent, but I'm sure you're hitting against some algorithm somewhere.
Well, that was one of my suspicions. So the first time I went through, I did use I used an SSH tunnel, so they wouldn't get my actual IP address. And it turns out, and the second time I tried with my home IP. So, it's one of these black boxes where the black box just says, piss off, and you have no recourse. It's,
So they have an office in Kendall Square. Should we organize like a little standout with signs saying, let's, give Steve Revelak an account? Should we like organize a standout, which it seems to be completely counter to pirate, but whatever. Don't let the algorithms keep Steve out of Facebook. I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe permission anonymous to just hack Facebook to give you an account.
Oh, I'm not going to call for that.
Well, I know that you can. I forget which security company did this, but they basically did a survey of the, dug around on the internet to figure out how much it cost to hire like hacking services, or how much you could buy email addresses for, credit card numbers. I presume that for a couple of Satoshi, I could have someone in Eastern Europe or wherever set up a Facebook account for me. If it's something of value, you can probably find it on the web somewhere.
I mean, you could reach out to them on Twitter saying, "Hey, I'm trying to create an account here, and something's flagging. Can you please help me?" And maybe they might find that out. Although, wasn't their account hacked? I thought Facebook's Twitter account was hacked.
Facebook's Twitter account was hacked. I don't remember the details, but someone basically got in and posted some stuff, and it's another owned social media account.
I mean,
someone forgot to turn on multi-factor authentication, obviously.
Yeah.
I know a couple of years ago, actually now I think it was 3 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, Anonymous hacked the Islamic State Twitter account and gave it a rainbow gay makeover. Let me see if I can link this for everyone to see, and we'll put this link down in the description too. But there you go, guys.
Oh yeah, so I mean, the Anons I know, they would totally do that. But I mean, one of the things you have to think about is in to the contemporary, in contemporary, even local politics, right? You want to talk to people in your community about a certain issue. Facebook does provide it seems like it would provide a nice platform for doing that. I don't know personally because they won't give me a freaking account, but what you've essentially got is an organization now that's basically set up membership rules that are completely opaque. Um, I mean, yeah, they have terms of service, but in terms of what by rules, I mean the algorithmic criteria that you are subject to, and which ultimately make an up or down decision on whether you're allowed to open an account. Um, it's it is yet another way that what we'll call West Coast law is having has an influence on um, the course of public discourse.
Hmm. I know that there's a couple of decisions that don't seem like they really make a whole lot of sense from Facebook of late. I know a couple days ago they were saying that they'd be happy to pay more taxes and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that to the European Union, and it's like, as a business person, that's like, wait, what? um,
Well, they pay so little taxes now, so
Well, I,
they can afford to be charitable, especially when the EU's like, yeah, maybe we want to impose huge taxes on you. So notice they're not saying to the US, here, we'll pay you more taxes.
speaking of which, is there any has how are things going with Max Schrem's uh, suit against Facebook? So he's the privacy activist who found that the stuff he deleted, Facebook wasn't actually deleting it, and he had sued them for GDPR violations, and things kind of went back and forth where he tried to sue them in Ireland, and Ireland said this is not an appropriate venue, which got kicked over to the EU, and then got kicked back to Ireland. any and you guys know of any updates here, or that may be just something we
I
have
have
to
him muted right
maybe
now,
maybe
but
it's something we can look at for next week.
I think we should. I mean,
fine
for
for
me, I don't know that much about it at the moment or the current status of it. So I'd certainly love to look it up and revisit it next week.
I unfortunately am in the same boat on that one. But as far as tech giants go, uh, is Facebook the only one that's been in the news lately? I think that there was another one.
Well, there
Facebook.
was Instagram and Facebook. Bloomberg went and paid a whole bunch of quote unquote influencers uh, to go and post weird memes or something like that in a way to gain attention in his gradual attempt to take over the presidency. So
Yeah. Who's the one?
I
Who is Bernie still winning that whole front?
at the moment, he's the top vote getter in both New Hampshire and Iowa. We'll see what happens in Nevada and South Carolina, but
Mhm.
he seems to be doing well. Certainly better than other candidates.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Bloomberg thing was kind of was kind of interesting, and it just goes. It's it it was a good hack, so to speak, in terms of just ways to do, I guess, product placement in the sense that Mike Bloomberg, the candidate, is a product. But yeah, it's we'll give you. I have $63 billion. You want some of that? Here's a beam.
Well,
Send it out to your.
I mean, so far he's spent over $400 million of ads, which is 10 times more than Bernie, who's the highest, who's the candidate, if I recall correctly, who spent the most. So it's just kind of amazing to me. I'm like, I don't know. It just, I'm absolutely amazed at just the sheer money he's willing to throw at it.
Where did he earn it?
Bloomberg
Bloom. Oh,
information. When you go to Bloomberg terminal in
of
Wall
course.
Street,
Gabriel,
it's his
get down.
company.
All right. That should have been obvious to me, but apparently I had a momentary brain fart.
Yeah, I once worked at a financial company and remember seeing it. It's like,
What?
it looks like a computer.
I'm busy right now, buddy. What else does Facebook own?
They own Instagram and WhatsApp. Speaking of WhatsApp, its competitor Signal got a good write-up in Wired magazine of late about how they're trying to branch out and expand it such that it's just easy for anyone to use. And uh, the creator, Moxie Marlinspike, went back to a story of, I think, being on a plane and some guy is like, oh, I don't know how to turn airplane mode on my phone. And he noticed the person had Signal, and he's like, wait, hold on. Like, how do he's like, this person who doesn't know how to put airplane mode on was using Signal. And, he put two and two together that even people who may not be savvy computer wise still care about their privacy. And, so they've been focusing more. They have a way to put emojis in now, and they've been increasing their group. They're working on increasing their group discussion such that you can still maintain your privacy while being able to communicate in groups and adding new features. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Signal in terms of, it could very well be a challenger to Snapchat or WhatsApp or things like that by adding new features, but also putting security and privacy, front and center.
Speaking of privacy, did you hear about the new Pinterest clone that Facebook just did? I think, what was it called? Hobby or something like that?
No.
They're totally trying to rip off Pinterest.
Is that within Facebook or is that a separate app?
I think that it's a separate app from Facebook's. Like, I mean, they're doing all sorts of different products and stuff like that. But yeah, they're definitely trying to do a Pinterest copy. It's called Hobby, HOBBI. And not to advertise for Facebook, but like, yeah, it's basically Pinterest 2.0. So that's a thing.
Well, Facebook must take over everything, so isn't that their aim?
Yeah, but I mean, hey, if you want Pinterest with no like regulations of security, yay.
I mean, even Twitter is now starting to look more like Facebook, which is annoying. But yeah.
Yeah. The like that, and the only other news I really know about going on with Facebook is they canceled their conference for because of the coronavirus, which is yeah, which is the only other interesting thing I know going on with Facebook.
Where was that going to be?
I think California.
Oh, it was. Oh, interesting. Because I know there was, I don't know, what was it? There was like a big mobile conference, mobile technology or mobile phone conference. Or something, I think, that got canceled. And I know there's been a bunch of photography conferences that have been canceled too.
Yeah. Let me see if I can.
But the weapons one, that still went forward in Singapore.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how.
San Francisco conference. So yeah. But that being said, yeah, that's pretty much all the news I have for Facebook going on right now. So, gentlemen, I thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. We got some events coming up soon.
Well, what is it? I think it's March 8th. We have our tech meeting coming up, 2 to 4, I believe. It's up on our website, masspirates.org. And folks are welcome to come and join us as we expand what communication tools and things we offer to our supporters. Just want to say that we're trying to do these more regularly now, and after a couple months hiatus. But if you have any topics you want us to cover, feel free to add them to the comments below.
Oh, definitely. And I'm also trying to put together a computer drive for families in need, to help them continue their education even when they're having their lives rebuilt around them. that, and so look for news on that coming up, and just continue to be safe, stay private, keep your information secure, and sally on.
All right, thank you both so much.
Yep.
Thank you
Thank you.
guys. Have a
Everyone for